What is going on? What is going on, everybody? How are y'all doing? Welcome back to Sips and Sniffs. It's your boy, Hidden Gems. Back on another off day. Y'all know how it is on Fridays. Your boy don't have to go to work, so we here with y'all. Fortunately, unfortunately, however you want to put it. But what is going on, everybody? Man, I have been toying around with StreamYard recently, and man, it is unbelievable at times. I tell you what, I'm over here trying to mess with the visual effects and everything, and sometimes it goes well, sometimes it does not. Not exactly sure what is going on, but we're going to go ahead and get to it nonetheless. Let me see if this is better. All right. I think this is going better. But anyway, what's going on, y'all, man? Hey, like I said, it's Friday, fun day, the beginning of the weekend. For some of y'all, this was the beginning of my 4-day weekend, all right, in honor of Memorial Day. Shout out to all the veterans and whatnot. But, speaking of Memorial Day, speaking of veterans, we got one on the show today, Been trying to meet up with this guy for quite a while and finally got in touch with him face to face, man. One of the guys I met up at Scent Explorer, we've shared a few conversations, a few messages and whatnot over the couple of years and whatnot. But it was just something different getting to see him at Scent Explorer, really being able to, I don't know, put a face with the name. You know what I'm saying? It's just different, y'all. I don't know if y'all will ever understand it, but it's just different when you do it in person. You know what I'm saying? When you meet someone in person. But man, got him here, finally scheduled some time to get a better understanding of who he is. Some of you may know him, some of you may not, which is all the reason for community conversations. But he's deep, hella heavy on the IG streets, has a massive knowledge about fragrances and the brands. That's the one thing that I appreciate about him and his travels and his journey the most. He really has had intricate discussions with some of the brands, the owners and whatnot, some of our favorite niche brands, as a matter of fact. And, that fascinates me. I'm starting to get into being fascinated behind the perfumers and the minds of perfumers. But right now I'm really looking at the brands, looking at the stories that they present and whatnot. And this guy, the discussions that he has or the knowledge that he has on some of them is next level in some cases. So glad to have him on the show. All right. And glad to pick his brain and see where he started and everything else. But first and foremost, as y'all know, let me go ahead and get to the chat because you all are why we are here. All right. First and foremost, of course, today, my guy Rockboy T. What's going on, man? Jim's guesting chat. All right. Simone in the building. What up, frag sis? All right. Had a little technical difficulties earlier, but we got through it and we're good to go now. My guy Dutch, what's good, baby? All right. Mundo, here for the fundo. Yes, sir. Wow, I own perfumes? I do. I own quite a few, Am I a millionaire? No. Some would probably say buying and owning perfumes like I do will keep me from being a millionaire. But, that is my downfall. And that is, the cross I have to bear at this time. So, it is what it is. What up, Jason? The third leg to the tripod. All right. Frag Commons Business. What's going on, my sir? All right. Mr. Sean, what's going on, baby? Hey, you have all mascara? Heck no, man. I'm not even going to give. I don't even know why I read that out loud. Juliettis, that is my guy, Rav. We're going to interview him today, and we're going to have a good discussion, man. Have a good discussion. Rav, what's good? What's good, baby? Rafan? Hey, Rafan, shout out to you, baby. Here we go. Yes, sir. We're going to talk about that this weekend. Let me get through here so I can bring my guy up. David, what's going on, man? Good evening, Scent Boss, my man, everybody. All right, let me get in here. Esteban, what's good? Some of the day is bad influence by Mason Yusuf. Yes, sir. Jason said he's testing out Spirit of Dubai Sama. Really good so far. Nice. Oh, was that Sean? My bad. No, that was Sean. Yeah. He said some of the night is Virtus Soul Patchouli. Man, we've heard you talk about that several times, man. It must be good. Look here, Simone. Don't do that. Don't do that. All right. Beerson, what's good, man? So the day is Arabian Oud Sultani. Yes, sir. We have talked about that. That is a beautiful fragrance for the summertime. And with that acknowledgement and this one, Ray, I appreciate you. Please go ahead, thumbs up. Go ahead and like the video so that we can be followed and our platform can grow, so that we can get more people in here as well, But yeah, man, let me go ahead and get past all of this, man. And yeah, let me go ahead and bring up my special guest. None other than Charles. What up? What up, Charles?
What's happening? What's going on?
Man, you already know, man.
What up, Brad?
Finally got you on here, man.
I know. We've been trying to make this work for a minute.
Yeah, and I still got to get some of the other crew, and I got to get my girl Kirby back on here if she gets some time, because she's so busy between hitting them streets. Because she be outside, right? I know I'll be out, but she be outside. Okay, this is different, right? I'll be out. And I still got to get, I still got to find some time for our girl Carrie, and of course Marcy, if she ever slows down too. She be borderline outside, but we're
life be life, man.
Yeah, most definitely, man. But like I said, glad I could get you here, man. I know you've had a busy schedule, man. With your job and everything. FragSportRav. You know what? Let's just go ahead and start right there. Charles, where'd you get that name from? All right.
So, FragSportRav. So three of my passions: fragrance, sports, and traveling. That's simple. A lot of people think my name is Trav. My name's not. My name's Charles. But that's basically what that is fragrance, sports, and traveling. Three of my passions.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you, man. I thought your name was Trav for a minute too. I was thinking,
You're not the only one.
A lot of people, your name was Travis. I don't know what the heck was going on. I did no background checks. I did nothing. I just FragSportRav. Trav. Trav. When I broke it down, I was like, okay, FragSport and Rav. I was like, okay, so Rav maybe is less. And then finally, I think I talked to Carrie. She was like, oh yeah, Charles. I was like, oh, that's his name. I was like, okay.
Yeah, it's
coming out dark there, man. Yeah. But yeah, man, and we always get to the fun part at the end. But yeah, man, I ain't even gonna hold up. Look at part of this. He gonna say I thought his name was Trevilius. It's some boys. Some. I don't even know. I don't even know if I would call them comedians or trolls.
Hey, I ain't mad with you though. There's some names out there, so.
yeah, but we got some trollians in the chat, boys. So you better get ready for it, man. My boy Rafan said Soul Patchouli is 400. Yep. You know what? Shout out to the fragrance family, man. They always come in the chat. They always show love. Some of them I've received decants from in the past, receiving some now, and some of them, forgive me. Shout out to Will the Thrill. I got to get his package out today, him and Simone. So we're gonna go from there. I've got about 3 of them. So if you hear me, just know I'm putting them out there. I'm sending them to UPS this evening. All right, that is Will, Smell Goods, Kev, and Simone. Please believe you'll be updated tomorrow. All right, but Charles, man, so we got you here, Charles. All right, we always, the whole reason for me and Jason in the earlier years starting this was to not only just have conversations around fragrances and around what people are going through and whatnot, but also to build the community in the way that we saw at the time fit. We kind of had a feeling that fragrances were seeming to head in a different direction, which was not productive for a lot of people, or was not what we wanted. So we took our we took our shot at trying to do something to develop the fragrance community how we saw fit by and being inclusive, but bringing in people in a way that we knew would be more positive than some of the negative discussions and situations that are going on now. Boy, I tell you what, it has moved away from fragrances so much that, and I mean, I'm literally thinking about putting together something called the real fragrance wives of Atlanta, or Texas, something frag.
Way.
You know what I'm saying? The real house husbands, because it's a lot of men. It's a lot of men, unfortunately. So the real house husbands of Fragcom is definitely something that might be in the making, man, for real. So
I stay away.
It's hard, man. It's hard, but we got to show love to them anyway. But like I said, man, Sips and Sniffs, we were trying to build a fragrance family, through conversations, community, inclusiveness in the chat and whatnot. And at one point it was just people that we knew on Instagram. Then we moved to YouTube. So running into you, it seemed only right that with your content and everything to bring you in. But tell us something, man. How are you doing in the fragrance space right now?
Hey, I'm doing all right. Like I told you, I kind of stay away from all that other stuff. I actually just got into the fragrance. I've always had a passion for fragrance, and started off my mom's younger sister. She just had a room filled with fragrance. Her room basically at the time smelled like it was a Sephora, and that was where I kind of got into fragrance, understanding fragrances for different occasions and things of that sort. Now she won't let me touch them, but I was quite observant with what she was actually doing, and that was how I actually got into fragrance. I've always had like prior to 2014, I'd always had at least 10 in a rotation. It was in 2014 when I actually purchased my first niche fragrance. I guess we could call it niche. Some people might beg to differ, but it was PDM's Galloway. That was the first niche fragrance I purchased. And that kind of opened me up to another realm outside of the designer fragrances that we were actually used to. And then I just, started collecting. It started growing past that 10. And we hit the pandemic, and I just, being in the house and working from home, I think I was fooling around on YouTube, and then I came across, I can't remember who I came across first, Max Forte or Sebastian Jara, but one of them I came across first. And it just got me down this rabbit hole that, people are out here actually talking fragrance on YouTube, and it's a thing. And then shortly after that, I got wind of Scent Explorer. The first one was virtual, and I signed up, and we were going in and out these chat rooms and things like that. And
hold on one second before you get too deep, because you're doing a real quick summary of your timeline.
Yeah.
Let's start here, because what I like to do is talk about the high points. You know what I'm saying? So let me back up a little bit. So you said that you started off with your mom. She had a room that smelled like a Sephora store, right? All right.
My aunt.
Oh, your aunt. I do apologize. Yes. Tell me something, because here's the thing. I find it interesting where people's journeys start. What were the first ones that you liked? So And I told my journey by my mom's body lotions and whatnot. Where did your journey start as far as fragrance, maybe notes or a particular fragrance, body oil, whatever? Where did it start when you were younger? Whether it was inside your aunt's room or whatever.
Yeah, that was exactly where it was. I think one of the first scents that actually caught my attention was Elizabeth Taylor's White Diamonds. That was like one of the first ones that actually caught my attention. And then I just started being nosy because she had a whole bunch of them. And my dad on the flip side, and my mom, they were like one fragrance type people. They would wear the same fragrance over and over again. But with her, the idea of, yeah, you can own multiple fragrances and change them each day and put something different for a different occasion. That
Yeah.
was where that idea came around. I still remember actually the first fragrance I actually bought with my own money, which was Davidoff's Cool Water. That was the first fragrance that I ever bought with my own money, and that's basically where it all started. So that's the fragrance that, I mean, I always have it, in my
You
collection.
talking about Davidoff or you talking about White Diamonds?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
No, Davidoff
Okay.
Cool Water. I always
Okay.
have it, regardless at any point, and that's where it started for me.
Well, let me ask you this. Was there a particular note that you can recall from White Diamonds that really brought you in? Because I like to see where did you start as far as like what note, accord, or whatever it may have been that really got you hooked into smelling the fragrance or fragrances?
It wasn't a note. I could tell you, I only started paying attention to notes during the pandemic.
Okay.
It was watching these YouTube videos and hearing the Sebastians and the Max and the Jeremys talk about them. That's when I started realizing, oh, this is actually a science. To me, it was just all about smelling good. I mean, I didn't care what was in it. I was like, it smells good. Let me grab it. And so it intrigued me so much that I actually went and took a class around, the notes and all of that stuff. So yeah. Prior to that, I didn't know it was that serious. To me, it was just smelly water.
Well, tell me this real quick before we move on. What class did you take? Because I've always been interested. I've been having to teach myself. Like I watch a few videos here and there, but I literally will just pack up my stuff, go to the car, and go to Lowe's, Home Depot, and smell stuff. Go to the Middle Eastern market and go smell. What class did you take?
There's a perfumer by the name of Michael Nordstrand, I believe his name is. He's up in New York. So I took a class with him through November Nichols' Shaman incubator program. Yeah. So Michael is a perfumer up in New York, and he's the one that kind of took us through the class about the molecules. I mean, it was so much chemistry. I was like, wow, this is really deep here. So
okay. All right. So White Diamonds was what you can remember from your earliest points and whatnot.
Yes. For sure.
Was there one that, and I asked this because so many, I'm gonna be honest with you, with us being Black, African descendant, so many of our fathers or male leadership in the family will try and push a fragrance on you, won't they?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what? That's the reason why today I do not like. I don't know if you remember the green Polo fragrance.
Yes, I do. I hated it because that was the one my daddy would wear to death, and I don't like it. Yeah, I'm with you on there. I mean, like thinking back to that fragrance in particular, and even now, I appreciate it, but I don't enjoy it. It's not one that I would wear right now. And ironically, we both said hated it. And you know what came to mind?
What?
Remember back in the day, remember the Waynes, remember and Living hated it.
Hated it.
My mom,
Yeah.
who was it? I think it was my mom and my aunt. They were like, they wore that, or my dad used to wear that Brute. They'd be like, oh.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They'd be like, it smells like a man. They'd be like, yeah, it smells like a man. And women be like, that's not a good thing.
And it almost felt like him and his friends will wear it as well. And I was just like, okay, no, I don't want to be anywhere near that stuff. I've had enough.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, man. I had to ask. Like I said, I know how the fathers, boy, they want you. Sometimes they want you to grow up in their image, even in different lives. It's just grow up in when you're of age, when you're 16 and under. You know what I'm saying? You go, I want a little me. I want a little me. Smells like me, moves like me. You know. But hey. Okay, had to ask. All right. So say for instance that was in your younger years and whatnot.
Yeah.
At what age did you really find value in smelling good? Not necessarily buying a particular fragrance, but in smelling good. Not that you wanted to, but found value amongst peers and in the world around you in smelling good.
That was early. I will say probably like 8 or 9. It actually started with like sprays. I forget what the name is, but similar to what Axe is today, right?
Okay.
So you start with the deodorants and you just spray that stuff because it smelled good. So that's where it actually started. So I will say about 8 or 9.
Okay. 8 or 9. Boy, that's a young age, man.
Yeah.
That's a young age. I think 8 or 9, I was still trying to convince myself that I needed baths at times. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie to you. I was walking around the house thinking some days. You know what I'm saying? Like I go, hey, my mom. I go from a soccer game. She'd be like, get in the bed. I'll go home and go sleep on the floor. I wouldn't sleep on the bed because I know I'd be musty and dirty, but I would pass out on the floor.
Hey, I had siblings, man. They'll tell on you, so we have to keep it straight.
Okay, yeah, I was the only child, so I had to worry about that.
Oh yeah.
She found out when she found out. All right.
Yep.
No, I got you on there. All right. So hey, let's take it back because I like to talk in years. So when you got to high school, Charles, all right.
Yeah.
Just the beginning. We're gonna round out all 4 years, right? When you first got into high school, freshman year, first week of school. Don't even have to be first day, first week of school. You fresh to death, all right? Answer me, were you creased up?
Let me tell you. I went to boarding school, right? So
okay.
We ain't had time for all that, but that I think for me it was more around like the holidays was the time that you actually you got fresh. You brought out them outfits that you hadn't worn all term long, and that was when you actually got the opportunity to show out a little bit.
Okay, all right. It's funny because I talked to Tia Moore.
Yeah.
I saw her up there at the Scentz N Soundz with Frank and whatnot, and we had a long conversation. I got to get her on here, got to talk to her and whatnot. But she told me she went to boarding school too. I was like, oh,
yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Interesting. But all right. So when you did get fresh, what were you wearing?
I mean, it was what we could afford. So some of that stuff I was wearing, I'll tell you, it had no damn name. It was whatever we could get. And like you have older cousins and you sneak something here and there. And not really even knowing what it is that you're actually putting on. I know there was a time that I was obsessed with like aftershave, right?
Yes.
There was a time with aftershave. There's one in particular, and I can almost swear that it actually smells similar to green Irish tweed. I can't remember the name, but it was an aftershave. It had like like forest kind of design on the packaging and on the bottle. I can't
Yeah.
remember the name, but yeah, that
I'll be
was
honest with you. A lot of fragrances back then smelled like that. They either
yeah,
smelled like there were a lot that smelled like Barbasol.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I really couldn't tell you the difference between Arabesque or what is it, Aramis and Brut. They all just smell
Because
like
even Brute, yeah,
alcohol.
at one point Brute, I mean, Brute was where I mean, because Brute was pretty potent. It was pretty potent. So sometimes you just, Aspen. Oh, there you go. That's my guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shout out to
that
David,
was
man.
it.
Shout out to David. He knows. He
Okay,
knows.
somebody know that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was it for sure. Aspen. Yeah.
And man, and yeah, I tell you what, they all were very similar. I think mainly because my nose wasn't matured, so I didn't really know a lot, but they all smelled very similar.
And I think sometimes it was even just about you just put something on, right? You just put something on that made you almost stand out from everybody else. So yeah, noses weren't mature. We ain't know what we were smelling. We just knew that okay, it smelled good, whatever it was, right? It could be barbershop aftershave or whatever the case was. It was just you were actually smelling good. So
No, for sure, for sure. It definitely was of the sort. But like I said, that was back in the day. I think in those times they weren't really. I don't think the men or the male purchasers were ready for the unisex fragrances that we enjoy so much nowadays. And not to mention, they didn't do the gourmands. I never smelled my dad or
nope,
anything that was
nope.
spicy that
It
smelled
was fougères.
like it cooked. Yes.
Yep. Yeah.
Heavy, heavy. You smelled like rubbing alcohol or you were in question.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
So
I even myself, I've just recently evolved into the gourmands and whatnot because I was kind of challenging myself to kind of expand my my not only my collection but just the kind of things that I would enjoy wearing. So I know for sure they were not wearing those back then.
most definitely, and it's good that we're branching out, that men are more open to it now.
Mm-hmm.
There's a rising thought that wearing certain things would minimize your masculinity, which I am
I don't care about
very
all that.
yeah, I know, but
Yeah.
that was one of the things I did appreciate with Mr. Cologne. His fragrance has no gender. I definitely appreciated that point of view, and I share it. And I agree. But yeah, no, that's a bit. So tell me this. All right. So we're out of high school, or no, we're heading out of high school. All right. By now, Charles, you are African American, but I know you are of the culture to where you were working in high school, correct?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So you had to save up a little bit of change. Did you buy a fragrance back then?
You know what? No, I did not. Actually,
Oh.
I was pretty fortunate that my mom was buying them at that time. Like I said, the first one, and I bought a fragrance for the first time, and it was on a plane from duty free from a magazine.
Right.
And that was like Davidoff Coolwater, like I said. So
Okay.
that was the one I
All right.
actually bought with my money.
All right. Let's fast forward just a tad bit.
Yes.
College years. Where'd you go to school?
So I was in the Army. So I went to school while on active duty, and I went to St. Leo University, which is a university in the Tampa, Florida area. So that's where I went to school, undergrad, management information systems major. Don't ask me because I did nothing with it. So
it's all right.
Yeah.
It's all right, man. I started teaching math and I was a computer science major. So, it is what it is.
There you go.
Hey, it's a million people out here taking their degree. And basically, sitting on it,
Yes.
and doing a number of things elsewhere.
Yep. I
So,
started in logistics in the Army, and I've stuck with it ever since. So
already. Well, hey, let me ask you this. You said that the first one was Davidoff Coolwater,
yep.
but I gotta ask. So, which one was your first? You said you had a niche at one point.
Yes.
Do you mind repeating that? Because at the time you were kind of going through the timeline, summarizing everything. Point that out.
My first niche purchase was in 2014, and that was PDM's Galloway. So the one in the white bottle.
That's right.
That was my first one.
What made that be your first choice? You know
what? I at the time I lived in Austin. I walked into Neiman Marcus and I saw it. It just smelled like nothing I'd ever smelled before. I didn't know what was in it, and I don't even think I know what is in it till today, because I had that one bottle and that was it. But it just smelled different. It just smelled like nothing I smelled before. And I got that, and I enjoyed it, and that was kind of opened me into the and I think the second one was Creed's Millésime.
Millésime Imperial.
Not Imperial, not the gold bottle.
Not the gold one. Okay.
But the white bottle. Funny enough, I think I still have it somewhere.
Okay. Well, I know Justin. All right, I'm sorry, Jason Vircher in the chat, aka FragCom is a business, will definitely put that in the chat which one you're talking about, because as he has proclaimed so many years, Olivier Creed is his uncle. You know, rest in peace.
Rest in peace, sir.
You know I'm saying? We lost a real one. All right, a real one to the frag community. But yeah, man. Hey, that's what's up.
Yeah, that was the first one.
Man, I'm actually, Jason, if you're hearing this, please let us know which one it is. All right, because I'm actually curious. I'm really curious, because I actually we had a little event this weekend and we got to smell some Creeds, and going back over them, you know, you take for granted how good things are, the OGs and whatnot. Yeah. Sometimes you take for granted what type of experience you have with a certain house until you come back to it years later, you know.
Absolutely.
I definitely did that with the House Creed, because going back in there, I definitely found some more that I want. So, you know.
And I think it's the same experience. You know, you spray a fragrance and you're like, man, I hate this. Just put it down and come back to it after a while. You'll appreciate something about it, for sure.
True. I think what it is, Charles, is when they look at that price tag and they know they only got 30 days to return it. You know what I'm saying? All that wait around to let it macerate. You know what I'm saying? All that wait around and let's come back to it. You cut it off a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You got about 21 days until I become actively looking for that receipt. All right.
Yeah.
For real, man.
Yeah.
Especially with the prices as they are now, ain't no waiting around. If I don't like it on the first couple of wears, I'm out.
Yep.
You're out.
Yep. They too high to be sitting around, you know.
Shoot, man. I've been, you know, even my boy's been talking about the prices going up on the dupes. On the budget fragrances.
You know, I think the more popular those ones get, I think I've been noticing that as well. That I think, you know, you almost can't find any of them in the $40 range. They didn't jump to 60 now. So, yeah, I think I've noticed that as well.
No, that's a fact. I mean, unless you're talking about the ones that get no play, old ones or whatnot, the new ones, if the brands
new ones
up, they start at like 40, which is crazy, because 2 years ago it was easy to find a $20 fragrance on Triple Traders or something like that. And don't misunderstand me. They are getting better. You know, the quality of spray, the quality of fragrance is definitely getting better. I've had many of people attest to that, you know, and include myself. You know, I got plenty of them, but yeah, it's getting more and more expensive, boy. I tell you what, budget fragrances aren't as budgetable as they used to be.
Yep.
Yes, sir. But all right, so hey, we made our way through your early years, man. All right, so you know what? I was about to say Trav. Boy, you know that's how long I've been. That's how long I've been. Charles, man. So I know you got some kids at the house and whatnot, man. Hey, I asked the gentleman this, and I was trying to get an answer from my guy. I know you know who I'm talking about. What's his name for 27.9?
Oh,
Tyrone.
yes, Tyrone. Yes.
I was asking him like, what fragrance you gonna wear when you go, you know what I'm saying, for the birthday of your son or for the birthday of your child, And I gotta ask, man, around that time, I know this we've been adults for a long time, so I can't break it down into 20s, 30s. I'm sure you've been through plenty of fragrances or whatever. But around the time of your first child, man, what were you wearing?
That's a question. It's been a minute, bro. I can't remember. That was what? 2013. Oh, that was 2013. So I think I was probably I think I was probably still in the Allure, Allure, the Chanel Allure, that line. I like 2013. I was still like heavy into the designer space at that time. So yeah, I think the Pradas. I can't remember what the bottle was, but it was like it had this purple hue on it with a silver cap. I think those were the ones that I was into at that point. Silver Mountain Water at that time as well.
Okay.
That was and what's like, even before Club de Nuit became a thing. I walked into a mall in Columbia, Maryland. Something Mills. I can't remember what it's called, but
okay.
Yeah, and I picked up Club de Nuit, but I didn't know what it was. It just smelled good,
Yes.
And yeah, that was one I was wearing at that point as well.
So my man was over there. He was shopping on a budget.
Yeah. So yeah. They
Club de Nuit.
Yeah. The black one. It was like one of the first ones, and I remember walking in there with my cousin, and we were just like, "Man, this smells really good." But I didn't have anything to associate it with, and it's a dupe that smells like this. Nah,
that was back when it was pure innocence in the
there
space.
You go.
You know what I'm saying? Pure
Absolutely.
Innocence.
Absolutely.
It was, hey, does it smell good? Does it last long enough? Not long, but long enough. I miss those days. But we're here now. We're here now.
In all of its glory.
Yeah, we are here now, man. So hey, it is what it is. But yeah, no, that's ironic. So back then you were doing a little bit of everything. Doing a dupe. I mean, things that you can remember would be a dupe, a notable dupe, one of the OG dupes. As a matter of fact, one of the big names over the years. Of course, the House of Creed will always be talked about, especially if you've ever loved fragrance. You're going to own one within the first few years of you being able to afford one.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed.
But that okay, that's what's up. That's what's up, man. All right, so Charles, we here now. All right, now those who follow you see that you go a lot of places. Now we know because you make sure that everybody knows that a lot of it's for work. but we see quite a bit of it. Ain't for work.
Mm-hmm.
And look, where has fragrances, and just a tiny snippet at a time, all right? How have fragrances affected your overall life outside of work?
Affected. Well, so like I said, so traveling has always been something I've enjoyed doing. I was in the Army for 10 years. I was pretty fortunate to go a lot of places while in the Army, and that just opened my eyes to this world outside of the continental United States. Traveling has just been something that I've had a good time doing. I always, and sometimes people always wonder and say, man, you must be spending a lot of money doing all this traveling. And I tell them, I say, but I bet you if you come in my closet, you won't see no Gucci shirt. So people understand what they know, and I say, hey, that money you spent to buy a Ferragamo shoe or a Gucci shirt or a belt, that's the money that I actually will use to buy a ticket and actually go somewhere. So that's what. And now for the last 5 or 6 years, ever since coming out of the pandemic, it has actually been, I picked this place to go, and then when I get there, I start exploring their fragrance culture and trying to understand, what kind of fragrances they're into. I mean, it was really amazing to me being in Japan last year and just getting a feel of what kind of fragrances they're into and whatnot. And that's basically how travel is kind of I think travel kind of impacted my fragrance journey versus fragrance impacting my travel journey.
Got you, man. So let me talk about this too. I know it's impacted you a different way too, man. Look, when we met at Scent Explorer, my friend, you've gotten not just gotten around, but you've, like I said earlier, you've been dealing with various households on a more than just sample my product type basis. When we saw each other at Scent Explorer, you were up there giving demonstrations and talking on behalf of one of the more notable or recently more notable niche brands out there, especially that peach fragrance. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
It's not one that I can necessarily wear. That's the main reason why I haven't gotten a bottle. But I mean, I enjoyed it the time that I wore it. But talk about that, man. Talk about your experience with Sarah Baker, please.
Yeah. So and this actually kind of goes for a number of brands that I've actually built relationships with over the years, right? And it comes from my journey in corporate America as well, right? And in corporate America, you always have to build relationships. That's the way you succeed. That's the way you thrive. And so it was the same thing that I said, hey, in this fragrance space, once getting into the different fragrances and getting past it smells good, understanding, okay, what notes make up the fragrance and whatnot. Then, like you said earlier, it becomes, okay, what is the brand about? I mean, what brands can I actually get behind? Because their mission and my mission is the same. They're I can actually stand for what they stand for, right? So part of that, and for me, the only way I get to know what that is by building a relationship with the brand owner, especially if they're accessible, right? One of the first, I believe, one of the first brands I actually had a conversation with the owner was Savoir Faire, right? And how did that come about? Glenn hit me up and say, hey, for Black Fragrance Week, hey, I need somebody to interview Chris Classic. I was like, all right. I don't know if I've ever interviewed somebody before, but yeah, I'll go have a chat with them. And then I went there, and we had a chat, and Chris is just a genuine person. He's just a genuine person.
Indeed.
He stands for something. He opens up his space to the community. He likes to see us win. And and that kind of person, you can't do nothing but get behind them. So and that's how I've actually built these relationships, is just understanding these people, knowing that outside of owning these popular brands, that they're actually people, and forming that relationship with them. I mean, Sarah is the same way. I met Sarah, and what thrilled me about her brand is the fact that her fragrances are just not run off the mill. They're not cookie cutter. They're very artistic. They're very the idea that each fragrance has a script behind it.
Okay.
And that was just what thrilled me, so kind of digging into everything that she has. And I was out in London once, and I reached out to her, and she was like, hey, yes, I can actually meet you at a store and take you through the full gamut that they had at the time. And I
Okay.
thought that was just amazing. And so that's how we built that relationship. So it's just been a lot of times, it's just been me kind of reaching out. Hey, I want to get to understand. And I think people, especially when the owner is that involved in the brand, I mean, they want to get
Yeah.
the word out. They want people to understand what they're actually doing and what they're about. So they're open to the conversations.
No, I definitely appreciate that. And watching how you've been and your handling of your networking, I guess you would say, in the community and whatnot.
Exactly what it
Definitely,
is.
yeah. I trust me, I get it. I tell people all the time, man. It's a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people. There are those that want to take advantage of PR, or they want to do something. And then there are those of us that really just love it and like the brand and the person so much that you just want to get closer to them to really find out what all, beholds the
Yep.
brand, the person,
Hmm.
And I can honestly say that, I've seen it, and not just how you're involved with Sarah Baker, but with my guy Luke. All right.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Who's
That's my
as
brother.
well.
Yes.
Chris Classic, he was the first person that me and Jason were able to interview brand wise. It was me, Jason, and Kales. I know, shout
Hmm.
out to Kales. All right. And he was so open about it. And I mean, since then, I mean, I can reach out to him when I need to. He responds when he's not busy, but
Yep.
he's a busy man. I mean, he's turned his storefront into a event center, I guess you would call it, right?
Yes.
And
Yes, indeed.
he's got a lot of stuff going on, but he has made himself open to those who have taken time to find out more about him. He allows us opportunity to find out what we want. He answers all questions and looks forward to other people reaching out if they have any.
I tell you, there's and I even hear people say it when out there. What Chris is doing in Atlanta, there is nothing like it in the U.S.
I'm
Absolutely
telling you.
nothing. There is no space where somebody opens up the doors to their facility and allows other brands put their stuff in there for no charge, just so people can have access to the brands and purchase directly from them. He doesn't charge them. He doesn't take a cut of what they sell. I mean, there is nothing like it. And I really hope that people appreciate what it is that he is doing and how that is opening doors for
True.
Black owned brands, for people to have access to. So it's totally amazing. And I don't know how many people would actually do that.
Okay. Yeah. And I'll be honest with you. I agree. I agree to the fullest. You know, he's the first one to do it. But you know, some of that comes from what I'm trying to build in this community. A lack of selflessness, a lack of selfishness. You know what I'm saying? Well, yeah, that's what it is. Selfishness. I'm tripping. I said selflessness. No, we need more selflessness. All right. But the fact that he is confident in his brand and where it is and where he is, and that he understands also that in order to build up, you need a strong foundation. The foundation can't always just be you alone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of people don't like to have these conversations, but you know, a relationship is one of give and take.
Yep.
On both ends. You know,
Mm-hmm.
people always have for years have had a problem with the term of being used. But the truth of the matter is that any relationship is about being used, but also about being able to use the other person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because if you're not being used, what's
You
going
ain't
on?
worth nothing. You ain't worth
You know what I'm saying?
nothing.
And if you're only using, then you're a leech. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? You're a leech. So that's one of the things that I always talk about that people don't want to have the discussion of. It's like be a useful tool. Your
Mm-hmm.
job in this life is to be a tool. We believe in the Christian faith that we are tools of Jesus Christ. We are tools of God. You know what I'm saying? To bring people over.
Yep.
You know, at all times you are to be used for good. Let me say that for good, because you know, in
I
the
think
climate of the world today, it's a lot of being used for bad. So
it has to be healthy, right? It has to be
yes,
healthy, and I think being used, who cares, right? It just has to be healthy, and you have to
yeah,
understand when it's not healthy, and I think that's the key to it. But I think contributing to society in whatever way you can, I don't see anything wrong with it.
me either. So yeah, but I love what he's doing because at the same time he's building his own brand while also bringing people up. You know,
Yep.
with bringing awareness to their brands because some of these brands are good and they're only known in little sectors. I always like to say that I'm only a part of a cul-de-sac, not a
Hmm.
full community. We're building, you know what I'm saying? But right now we're a cul-de-sac, you are one of my neighbors, but you're connected to a whole different group of people. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But it's like we got to get beyond that. Right now we're building a community by joining cul-de-sacs.
Hmm.
And that's all we got. And he's doing it in the best way possible in my personal opinion, you know, growing himself and bringing others with him, bringing awareness to other brands and whatnot.
Absolutely.
So I appreciate all that he's doing, man. All that he's doing. But yeah, so let me ask you this. So working with Sarah Baker was definitely one of the things that you've been doing recently.
Hmm.
As we saw at Scentz Explore. Are there
Yep.
any other brands that you've been getting in touch with that you've been trying to have more of a hands-on experience with both the owner, the brand, getting to know them?
So of late I've been doing a lot of writing for brands. I did a piece recently with the House of Ira, which was talking about how to layer some of her fragrances.
Yes,
I
I
also
saw
did a
that.
piece
Beautiful.
did a piece with Maison Fide, which is another brand out of Dallas, um, talking about trends in the fragrance community coming up. So go
Hold
ahead.
on, Charles. Hold on,
Yeah.
Charles. Maison Ferde?
Maison Fide. Yes.
All right, brother, you're gonna have to text me that because if they out
Yeah.
of Dallas, I'm wondering why have I not heard of them?
Yep.
I
Yep.
know nothing about this brand.
Yeah. So yeah, so that's what I've been doing more in the
Okay,
last just right now getting ready for Exxon's. I'll be out there with Sarah Baker as well. And Exxon's is a pretty unique environment. It's not a lot of compared to Scent Explorer. So at Scentz, there's no selling. It is more about just talking about the brand to people, getting people to understand the different offerings for the brand. So excited, looking forward to that. It's one of those brands that I actually enjoy. It's not like it's not like, so it's not work for me. It's
Okay.
talking through the brands. Most of the bottles I actually have, I purchased myself. So it's fun. It's not work. So like that's why sometimes in this space, when people talk about the views and the content being pushed and the algorithm, I don't really get into that conversation, because I'll tell you what actually made me start
Please.
posting stuff.
Yeah,
So,
that was going to be the next question. Go ahead, please.
So after that first year of a virtual Scent Explorer, the next year was in person and in New York. And okay, Ralph, I got you. I will.
You know he was going. You know he was going.
I will.
I had to go ahead.
I did. And by the way, he actually hooked me up, because when I was in London a couple of weeks ago, I did go to the store at Harrods. So I would do that for sure.
I need your Zelle. I need your Zelle, Charles.
Yeah, man, just hit me up for sure.
We'll talk about it, because
we'll talk about that.
I have to send you something to get something. All right.
Okay.
I have to
Okay.
send you something
Not
to
a
get
problem.
something, because that Milan boutique that he keeps raving about.
It's special, bro.
I might have to get you to pick up something. All right, go ahead. But go ahead. I'm sorry, I got off topic.
So that second year, went to New York, and I walk in the building, and the first person I run into is Glenn, Mr. Cologne 76. And that's why every time I have the opportunity to talk about anything fragrance, I always got to give Glenn his props, because and when I walked into that building and I met Glenn, and he said, "What's up?" And if you've ever met Glenn, he has this imposing, he's this tall, kind of, guy, bald.
He ain't small.
He ain't small, right?
No.
So I meet him, and I'm like, so I recognize him from the YouTube videos, and I say, "Hey, what's up, Glenn? How you doing?" And he's like, "I'm all right." He was like, and the first question he asked me is, "Do you have a page?" And I'm like, "No." And he says, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, "I'm just a lover of fragrance." So he looks at me. He's like, "Really?" He's like, "You should start one." And he walks off.
You know what? You know what's funny about that, though? Be it good or bad, that literally sums up Glenn on so many different levels and so many different topics.
And I was like, okay. He just said you should start one, and he walks away.
Yeah, I mean that explains him in a nutshell on so many levels. All right, that's the funny thing.
And so that was December of that year, and my first post did not happen until May of the following year. But I always say he was the reason why I actually started posting about fragrance. So for me, I mean, I typically, just with everything, I focus on the things that I can control. All the whole talk about the algorithm and all of that stuff, I don't get involved in that, because I can't do nothing about it. So I just try to, it's out of passion. I talk about a fragrance, which is why a lot of times in my content, I'm just telling you what I feel about the fragrance. I'm not actually giving the opinions and asking people to go buy. I'll kind of push a limit and say, I think you should get your nose on this. But outside of that, I'm not trying to.
You are me, brother. You are me. You like what you like. You talk about what you like.
That's it.
At the end of the day, you're encouraged to sample, not to buy. And you know what? I've had this discussion with so many people. In a nutshell, you know what? Nowadays, there, you know, I'll never tell anyone who loves fragrance or who doesn't, right? But I think there are misconceptions as to what is a fragrance reviewer and what is a fragrance influencer.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And I think one of my friends, Walt, put in terms, he put it in a different way, but you know, there are some that get on there and they're snipers. And those are the people that will be like, hey, you need this. Go get it. You know what I'm saying? Like this is
I
what
ain't
you
telling you that.
right, right,
I
right.
just bring awareness to it. That's it.
Right, right, and that's the beauty of it because and bringing awareness of the stuff that you like, you know,
Mhm.
it's enjoyable. It remains
Yeah.
enjoyable, and I think you know at one point I'm not going to get on me, but you know, there's a lot of people that I've talked to in the past that have lost that because they went from fragrance reviewing to chasing the algorithm, chasing views,
Mm-mm.
and trying to become fragrance influencers, which goes against what made fragrance reviewing or fragrance experiencing
Fun.
fun,
Hmm.
enjoyable for them. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. I mean, I get, I get approached by, different brands. And I always say the day that the whole fragrance thing starts feeling like work, that's the day I stop doing it.
thank you. And I'll be
I
telling, I'll
like
be,
it.
you know,
Like you send me over a contract or an agreement, and you say, "Oh, you got to say this." Nope. You say, "Oh, you have it has to be done by this time." Nope. Mm-mm. You ain't you. I have deadlines at work. This ain't you ain't gonna make this
yeah.
resemble my 9 to 5. No, that's not gonna
Thank you.
happen.
Especially
Um,
when you're not paying me what my nine to
in that
five is
manner,
paying me.
right? Yeah, that's
Yes.
not happening. Most of these fragrances right here I bought with my money. So like you're not, I mean, mine is truly passion. I just I enjoy the art and the whole idea behind creating, a fragrance. So it's not about, how much I mean getting PR is great, but it's just that's just not the goal for me, right? So
Right.
it's passion. The day it starts feeling like work, I ain't doing it no more. So
Amen. Amen, brother. You know, and this is why I appreciate your content. I appreciate the more so recent conversations, you know, because I definitely feel the same way, man. I definitely feel the same way. Um, it's a problem, man. It's a problem for many of us. And I know you've been in this space for quite some time. You've seen some come and go.
for
You
sure.
and I
Hmm.
can't help but wonder if their battle with that is like the others I've talked to, that it was just like, okay, you start getting this, you have expectations, you don't meet them, then they start putting words out about you, or better yet, you know, you just feel like you're trying to meet someone else's expectation rather than doing what you just wanted to do whenever you wanted to do it,
Yep.
however you wanted to do it. And then you know you feel less because it's not like some of the people that are getting more attention.
Yeah,
And
or it's like you see somebody getting X, Y, and Z, and you feel you should be getting X, Y, and Z as
yeah,
well. I can't. I don't compare myself to anyone. That just takes out the fun in it. It
it
takes out the
does.
fun. It takes out the joy. What is that thing they say? Envy is the whatever. But I just it's just not how I operate. So whatever I'm doing. Whatever they're doing. At the end of the day, we all gonna be all right.
Yeah, I agree, man. Hey, great message, man. Great message. But no, but definitely. So, all right. So you're going to Exxon's, man. You know, I've heard that it's a distribution
Yes.
event more so. All right. How many times have you been to Exxon's? Because I think this is what third I can
This
count,
no,
right?
this actually going to be my second time.
Oh, second. Okay.
It's one of those yeah, it's totally different from Scent Explorer. I mean, size wise and just the way it operates, it's not about what you're selling. it's a lot of distribution and retailers and whatnot, and just discovering new stuff. I remember last year I was seeing stuff from brands that they were going to be releasing in 2027. Some brands are operating that far out. Some are talking about you know, what's going to be coming up in the next 6 months. I mean, I remember meeting the owner of Suspiro,
Mm.
and he hugged me, and I look at him like, what the hell is you wearing? And he was like, oh, it's something that's coming out. I'm like, what is the name? And it was Il Padrino at the time, and it hadn't come out yet. I'm like, you know what? I have to get it because it smelled. I mean, it was, and I think it came out about 6 months after that. But yeah, so that's what it's like. It's a totally different vibe for sure.
I'm definitely gonna have to touch base with that. But man, I am looking forward to it. It's not a trip that me as a individual, not associated to any brand or whatnot, can afford to take, especially in light of what's going on nowadays. You know what I'm saying? I need to know that I'm gonna make it back. All
You
right.
bet. I hear you.
I need to know that I'm not gonna have to stow away somewhere in order to make it back in time for work, you know.
Mhm.
But no, but seriously, man, that is one of the main events, one of the big events. I probably say the big five that we have in the fragrance
For sure.
space.
Yes.
You know, I believe it cans and I probably say Scent Explorer on a smaller level, but you know, as far as noteworthy in our community, you
Beauty
know, the
World.
youth and
Yeah.
whatnot, yeah. But I would probably say those are the three headliners, but definitely by far cans, Exance, and Beauty World.
Yep.
Yeah. And going from there. So that's what's up, man. That is a blessing. What's going on, Fragrance Journey? I see you on IG. I saw you in the chat on YouTube, my guy. Hey, I'm gonna hit you up. We'll definitely chop it up because I have a question for you. But yeah, man. Okay, Rav. So tell us this, man. Right now on your journey, is there any particular house because that you would probably recommend to people that you've been getting your nose on recently outside of what is it, the scent library? Because I've seen the spill
Yeah.
on that one,
Yeah.
man. I was gonna ask you about that. I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
get my
Yeah.
nose on that. And one other person, Jonathan's brand from out there oh my gosh, in Dutch. He's in Deutschland. I forget the area. What is the area with the red
Netherlands.
and not the Netherlands, but anyway, you Jonathan, I think he has the brand. He's black owned gentleman. He's a little younger than us. No, I'm talking about he was up at Scent Explorer. He has he's black
You're not
owned.
talking about Mystery Modern Mark, are you?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Isn't his name Jonathan?
Oh, Daniel.
Daniel. I don't know why I want to call this
Daniel.
man Jonathan.
Yeah,
All right,
Daniel.
see, just like Travis and
Yeah.
Charles, you know what I'm saying? Jonathan and Daniel. Okay.
Yeah, Daniel.
I'm messing up.
Yeah, Daniel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So,
Daniel is doing great, man. He just opened a coffee shop in Amsterdam where
okay.
a lot of the drinks are inspired by fragrances, and so he's that's keeping him really busy. But and then the other store that carries
Yeah.
the Mystery Modern Mark fragrances is doing this thing as well. So yeah, it's a lot of stuff he got going.
Yeah, man. But outside of those two brands, because
Mm-hmm.
eventually
Yep.
I wanted to ask you something. I think I'm gonna go ahead and get a discovery set. Love to get your interpretations on the House of Scent Library and everything. All right. But tell me, what other brands are you looking into right now? I'm curious.
So you know what? Something I'm actually really enjoying right now are these absolutes from Byredo.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, man. I am really enjoying those. Especially Rose of No Man's Land, the absolute versions.
Mm,
There's a house out of Paris called The Gate.
heard of
The
it.
Gate, yeah, man. The
Carrie
Gate,
Kirby.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? They
man.
like to say, "Oh, everybody's influenced on it." Well, not everybody, but I know, and I like to include myself in here when I can. All right, but our little community. Oh, if one of them hears about it, oh yeah, everybody's gonna know about it, man. And they are big
Yeah,
on it.
yeah. It's yeah, they have some and especially their fragrances from the Gate are, well, not all of them, but there's a mango one, there's a pineapple one,
Yes.
and I'm really really enjoying those. My man Chris Collins is
Oh,
putting them out there. He's putting them out there. I haven't got my nose on the new one, but I'm excited about getting my nose on that. But there is, I even kind of went back to some of the older ones, like what's it called? Autumn something. It's one that people don't really talk about. That one's really nice. So I'm enjoying the Chris Collins lineup. Um, Maya and Jai, who I just had a great
yes.
conversation with in London. Um, yeah, Ralph, you right. They have this one vanilla fragrance, but they have some other ones as well. Yep, you're right about that. But yeah, Maya has some really really dope, unique fragrances. I'm enjoying those as well. Let's see. What else? As always, Unique Luxury.
Unique
They
is definitely.
yeah, they are still I don't know why it took me so long to get Zangi, but whew, man, that's one I am really really enjoying. Let me see what else. Um
One more, dude. One more would be good.
hey, the
I want
memoirs
to
memoirs of a
to
perfume
come to your
collector.
channel. My bad. Go ahead.
Memoirs of a Perfume Collector.
Ah,
Uh,
yes.
yeah, they are the California Love. They just put out, and then there's a fragrance from their Midnight City series, Doha. Man, I am really digging that one. I know a
Okay.
lot of people are high on Tokyo and London as well, but Doha is the one that I own that I'm really digging at this point.
What is it in Doha that makes it so notable to you?
I mean, it's this Middle Eastern spice
Mm,
that just, I mean, it's one of those, it has a presence, right? The incense in it is so beautifully blended. There you go, Raf. That's a Vanille Havane.
Vanilla
Yeah.
Havana.
Yeah. So I mean the incense and the fragrance, and it has this passion fruit. Whew, I mean it's a really, really good fragrance. Doha, that is from Memoirs of a Perfume Collector.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to get my nose on that for sure then.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, look, we have heard quite enough about your journey and where you are, where you were.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Hell, we even had you bring up some memories that were put to the back of your mind as far as some of these fragrances, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, now that we've kind of got an understanding of your journey, where you were and where you are, you know what time it is.
Yes, sir. I'm ready.
It's
There's the part I've
time
been
for
waiting
this
for.
Scentz N Soundz, y'all. Now, for those
Yes,
who don't
sir.
know, this is where we combine the olfactory sense and the auditory sense to form a relationship and understand the vibe that fragrances can give off when compared or when coupled with music. All right. Now, as y'all know, there are things called scent memories. We always talk about them, and you get those from different events and A lot of times from things you see and things that you hear, being music, i.e., or other auditory things. But today we're going to be using music as usual. And I asked my brethren, my fragrant brethren, all right, to give me 5 fragrances and link them to 5 songs. And we are here now, y'all. We are here. All right. So give me 1 second. Let me go ahead and bring it up. You ready for this? You got your list in hand?
Yeah, I have the bottles right here. Yeah.
Already. All right. We're going to go ahead and get them going. Let me go ahead and bring this up real quick.
Ralph, I'm gonna hit you up. You're gonna have to send me these brands that I need to check out for sure.
That's what I'm saying. I'm over here trying to write them out as well. Hell, let me know something. For real. Now, hey, I have number 2 on here. Let's save that for the last piece, if you don't mind.
Okay.
All right. Only because it appears I tried to play it a second ago just to make sure that it tested well, and unfortunately, I have to get another one because it is a bad recording. Okay. But let's go ahead and start off with number 1, man. So I asked you, and let me let the audience know, we are going to be discussing 5 fragrances for travel. You know, being that this is FragSportRav that we're talking to. You know,
yes, sir.
He is a well-traveled man. All right, and he is a fragrance lover. So I expect some good matchups. You know what I'm saying? We're going to go ahead and get him to talk about the song and the place that he would travel to and how all 3 of them relate. So with Trav, we get with FragSportRav, we getting a trifecta tonight rather than just a double bonus. All right. So go ahead, Charles. Go ahead. What's your first one, man?
Okay, so the first one right here is Greek Keys from the house of Sarah Baker. As the name implies, this basically takes me to a family trip a couple of years ago to the country of Greece, specifically Crete. I know most people tend to want to go to Santorini because of the white building tops and all of that stuff. And I wanted something different. So I had a boss at the time who used to go to Greece every year. And he was like, hey, if you don't want to go to Santorini, go to Crete. And Crete was freaking amazing. And with Greek Keys, basically what you get is you get this green, juicy, creamy, smooth fragrance that does amazingly well in the spring and the summer. Really love this fragrance right here. It's tropical, but it doesn't give you that sunscreen or cocktail vibe. This is Green Keys by Sarah Baker.
All right.
You got the song?
I do. Go ahead and enlighten us. What does it bring about to you? What vibe does it give?
So so Crete is one of the lesser traveled islands. It just gives me that sense of relaxation, because it was basically what I did on that vacation while everybody else was kind of running around. For me, it was just relaxing. So, and that's kind of what the song kind of, gives off for me, is just this, picture riding down, a road with the beaches to both sides, drop top down, the wind is blowing. That's what it actually brings to me. And this song basically just embodies that.
All right. Well, here we go. With that being said, let's go ahead and get it. We got Santorini, Greece, y'all, by Rick Ross. I see you, rap.
Yes,
got a little trap music in there. Got a little trap music. Let's go.
Sometimes I really want to say, I don't give a shoot it out with all you. Just don't love me. Young black, you're fighting the world. Everywhere you go, bitch, throwing rocks.
Big, it's the emblem mode.
Man, the Lamborghini. Seen a Cuban kilo, I was 15. Dylan Yayo never had my teeth cleaned. Restricted license, but I'm so divisive. I know the snipers and I flow the nicest. Fresher than Groovy Lou at a Coogee shoot. Multiple weapons in my new Gucci boots. The bank account done caught the Holy Ghost. I say the bank account done caught the Holy Ghost. Hot pastrami for my Jewish chicks. 8 days of Christmas, every day a newer gift. I'm Michael Jackson to the rich. That leather jacket, baby, with the 6 zippers. Suicide or rather crucified. I prophesize your whole crew demise. But Tulu wife reside in Cuba. Shoot you, let you bleed out is how they do it. You don't believe in God. From this very moment, you should believe in God. Half of my headed to Attica. Either trafficking or destined to be a janitor.
Boy, would I love to play the whole song through and through.
Yes,
You know what
sir.
I'm saying? Just throw back, take you back. Have you thinking about all them little trips with the windows down, like you said, man? You know what I'm saying? Look, you even got my boy Rav in here throwing up signs. You know what I'm saying?
I know. I see
Representing
that.
that Peru, not Pyru, okay, but Peru, okay? Make sure you get it right. My Peruvian brother, you know what I'm saying? But no, man, hey, that right there was a vibe. And you know, I have not got my nose on it, but we do have Sarah Baker down at the Scent Room. I gotta get my nose and see if they got Greek keys out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How
It's
smooth
one of
it
the
is.
sleeper ones for sure.
Man, see if it's as smooth as this song was. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely understand the vibe matchup. You know, that's a definite, man. All right. So next up, we got what we talking about?
So next up, since we're skipping 2 for now, next up, I got MBZ from the House of the Scent Library. So this is a limited edition fragrance. So MBZ, I learned recently, is the initials of now I can't remember what they call him, president or the president of, he used to be the president of, either used to be or still is, but this fragrance was done as a tribute to that gentleman, and it's basically a fruity floral. I loved the fragrance even before I knew what MBZ meant. To me, it was just a name. It's a fruity floral. This basically just kind of gives like luxury vacation vibes, tropical fruits, and it does have a woody aspect to it as well. It's one of those fragrances, it's fresh enough for daytime, but then you can also dress it up for the night as well. So MBZ from the House of the Scent Library.
Nice.
And,
all right. So, go ahead, please.
And the Scent Library is a fragrance house that is based in Dubai. So Dubai is the spot, and the song is Dubai from Bia, I think her name is. So
isn't that the same girl that just does the? Oh no, that's MIA.
Yeah, that's MIA.
I know. Okay. I know who this one is.
Yeah,
we're gonna get to it. Let's go ahead and put her up. All right. Let's see what you got, Rav. All right. You're gonna have to explain the vibe after this. All right. You're gonna have to explain the vibe relation.
Yep.
Here you go.
Stand for nothing, fall for anything, have some discipline. Jesus walks with me like Kanye, I'm so Christian. I think I want a flat in London, that's so fitting. Pray to God for that life I have, this shit was written. Brand new AMG Mercedes comes with ribbon. This art just came commissioned, can't compromise my vision. Man's is quiet, man's a liar, man's is fibbing. When a man switch sides up, I can live with that decision. And I don't do take backs. If you make your bed bad, then that's where you lay at. I was on their head like I did a set of straight backs. Every time I lost, doubled up everything I made back.
I was in tape first time I met B. I said I'm cuffing her ASAP. They ain't got bread, but they talk by the streets. When you think me gon' rate that? Teenage years, only run from police. Put your hand on my friend, then you bleed. But I'd rather spend my time in Dubai, cause I ain't gon' swing my shank with a sheik. Swing that light for the raw. The English boy just buy at the bar. Then I might go spend some time in Qatar with Arabs. Flight Emirates first class in Palace. I ain't got time for the shot, embarrassed. You and your guys and your ass ain't carrots. Blood, sweat, tears on the past. Snakes are hissing, intuition. With my sniffing, diamonds hitting. If you want Birkin, baby listen. Start the slurping, stop the kissing. Can't believe I'm rich from prison. Cause in jail, I just got nickings. I told Bia, you must be kidding. If you think there ain't guns in Britain, till we won't burst the Nina. I'm from the 9, but I'm in the Burj Khalifa. Sipping on brandy, Moesha. When I was young, I was robbing everybody. I don't even know I got peak on FIFA. Got a billion streams from a dealer. I'm the Eminem J. Beaver.
And I don't do take backs. If you make your bed bad, then that's where you lay at.
All right, Ral. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, boy. What's going on here? All right.
So I mean, if you've been to Dubai, you know Dubai is a pretty wealthy environment.
Yes.
Not saying everybody in Dubai is wealthy, but the environment is pretty wealthy. So you're talking fast cars. You're talking, the song talked about the Burj, which is a pretty tall building, fancy lights, folks drinking champagne, cigar bars and all of that stuff. So it's basically like a luxurious life. And that's what that fragrance kind of reminds me of, is luxurious living. So that's why I actually chose the song, because it basically describes Dubai pretty well. And it's one of my favorite places to go.
Nice, man. Yeah, I like that little line that you put in there, talking about sipping on some brandy, or you sipping on some Moesha.
Moesha. You know what? Mr. Clark just put that in there. Yeah. Yep.
I like that, man. Hey, I have to add that to the playlist. Real talk, man. Yeah. That is nice. Yeah. I like that. Yeah. I like that for real. Yeah. All right.
Ready for the next one?
As a matter of fact, we can circle back to number 2. We got it in there.
Okay.
Got it in there, man. Yes, sir.
Number 2 is actually from the house of Savoir-Faire, and this is Italian Africano. So Italian Africano, the story behind this is it's basically speaks to the transition of people from the northern part of Africa into Europe, right? That's what this fragrance is. If you've got your nose on this, this fragrance has a level of sophistication. It does have that zesty, citrusy vibe, but still, it feels like you can dress this up. There's this richness into this about this fragrance that I just love, and it's you know what, man, forget it.
I'm with you. Hey, go ahead, brother. I'm gonna make all the time in the world for you.
Really enjoy this fragrance. It has this warmth, this elegance, this depth. For it to be a citrusy fragrance, it is next level. Chris killed it with this one.
Yes, he did. It's my favorite from the new ones, to be honest with you. It has a spicy warmth in there, but the spicy is not peppery like you get from Agent 47 or from the other. It is just a warmth that warms up the citrus, that literally almost an amber style feel, but it literally gives it a literal warmth to the brightness of the citruses. Look, one thing about Chris Classic and Savoir Faire that we can both agree is that he makes fragrances for our culture. All right.
Yep.
For our culture. You are not going to see too many people that are not Black, African, or of even some of the Latins as well. If you're not of that nature, you might not understand it. You might not like it. But if you are of the cultures that he definitely speaks to through his perfumery, you will love it because it takes you back. It not only Italiano Africano gives you a history lesson on feels. Yep. But even if you were to go back to just Beau Noir, Indicativa, Soul Cafe, they speak to our culture. The swap meets, those are smells that you smell on as swap meets at the black get-togethers. I'm talking about when you see our parents, our mothers, our aunts, and they put on that shea butter, that cocoa butter, and they blend in so many other fragrances with it. These are the smells that you get.
Yep. When I hosted the launch of these 3 new fragrances, and I remember even prior to that day, I had gotten my nose on them, and I was really struggling between Italiano Africano and Oratory, which one I actually liked best. And I'm like, you know what? These 2 fragrances are just in 2 different spaces. They are both like really good. And then the third one, the moment I smelt it, I mean, I'm not from New York. It took me straight to Harlem. Like them people on the street, who sell those, what?
Chemistry?
The one that smells like the Egyptian musk. Was it what?
Chemistry,
yes.
That's the one. That was the first one I bought a full bottle of, and it is beautiful.
That one. I mean, that one. It just it took me back to just Harlem and just the people selling the stuff on the side of the road and the little roll-on musk and whatnot. I mean, these fragrances are totally awesome, and it's amazing but that's where this actually takes me to. And the song that I actually have for this is a song by a number of Afrobeat artists, Johnny Drill, Ira Star, and Young John. And the song basically talks about somebody having a love for a man having a love for a woman, and how that love is so much it makes him high. And that's the love that I actually have for this fragrance right here. I mean, Italiano Africano is freaking amazing.
Definitely. And let me do this, Rav. I said Rav. I don't know why I keep wanting to call you Rav. You know what I'm saying? FragSportRav. But hey, let the people know what is your ethnicity.
Absolutely. So I was born in Atlanta, of Nigerian descent. So I'm first generation American. My parents came to the U.S. As students. I was born in Atlanta. I'm a Grady baby, but I am very connected to my Nigerian roots. I visit quite often, but I consider Atlanta home.
No, for sure. But I just want to know, because as they're starting to hear so many Afrobeat songs, some people don't, some people don't get, but I get it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I like it. And let me say this too. Charles, do I need to check up on you on Friday and Saturday nights like I tend to think about checking up on Kirby? The way, it kind of bothers me, the level of trap music that you're listening to. You know what I'm saying? Raw Santorini Grease. All right. Look, lyrically, I wonder. Okay, lyrically,
I'm all over the place, man.
What you out there traveling for so much, Rav? All right, what you out there, FragSportRav? What you out there traveling so much for? You know what I'm saying?
I'm all over the place.
You over there making deals, huh? All right, we're gonna leave it alone, man. But no, seriously. Let's get to the next one, man. All right. And go ahead and tell us what we about to hear, man.
Yeah, so this one right here is called Colorado, and it's Johnny Drill, Ira Star, and Young John.
All right.
Na, 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 na. love, oh. Slip, pass me your love, oh. So many things I want to do, but you show me say my love is not enough, oh. Don't do everything the people want, though. Yesterday and I'm in my function. You want to move fair, gone, but it feel like say you get scones. Suddenly my love in a good day enough. Tell me what thing I do or do. I know when I knock your door, door. All my family they see I'm say something going on. I could do anything for love. I'm stuck on you, I be like somebody.
No, nobody perfect, oh. No be by who drive Benz, oh. It's how you got me high like Colorado. I me like Polo. Roll up on my mindset, oh. Never play you Nintendo. It's how you got me high like Colorado. I me like Polo.
Oh yeah, that's a whole vibe, man. I like that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Smooth.
All right.
Yes, sir.
So, the next one I have here is Tropica from the house of Maya and Jai.
All right.
This fragrance basically just feels like a tropic getaway. I mean, this has this juicy mango. It just feels, and it almost, it has this warmth of intimacy. So, which is why I picked the song. And for those of you who are into old school hip hop, may be familiar with this song, and you may be not. And that song basically just reminds me of a situation where you're with your girl or a girl with their guy, and you're about to head on this vacation, and somebody's actually taking you there. So the song is "Take You There" by Pete Rock and CL Smooth. So check it out.
Here we go.
Check it out. Oh yeah. Back again with another hit. Smash. Pete Rock, CL Smooth. We got to do it for you. So go call your crew and let them know we in the house. CL hit them off with the verses.
Never judge a book by the cover. Discover the soul brother with the mechadon. Working brunette to blonde. How many Edison Con when I respond in full black? With us Heaven to Vernon villains back to back. Amazing grace when I face the great paper chase. For real, it's long overdue, so I don't want to talk to you. I stroked the hell out of Mademoiselle who insisted every night she get her back twisted in the unlisted. I'm living through my son, so daddy see it this way. I want him in the NFL, his brother in the NBA. No doubt I'm with a piece down in Mecca, all crazy. To the late Eve, none of this is make-believe. I breathe some of the most powerful lyrics of our century. Battle physically, conquer mentally. Essentially, you're dealing with a Mecca affair. So anywhere you want to go, you know, I'll take you there. In the future, see me calling the shots for larger pots of cash, the mini bikes and open mics.
Man. As much as I'd like to play that out, it's been so long since I've heard that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know how long it's been? You remember that LL Cool J song? If you want me, baby,
for real,
take it away.
Take it to paradise.
When I heard this song, I remembered the beat, and I could not remember what song it came from. And here you are informing me of what I was trying to figure out years, almost a decade, more than a decade ago.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
but
so that's where that actually came from. So yeah, so and the place actually that this kind of inspires me, Lagos, Nigeria, which is a coastal city in Nigeria with a lot of beaches and a lot of hidden beach houses and getaways and whatnot, and that's what this actually reminds me of.
Okay, all right. So you got hidden beach houses out there.
Oh yeah. A lot of beach houses, a lot of getaways, a lot of resorts. And that's basically what Topeka kind of reminds me of. You have like these soft florals with like this ripe, juicy mango. And it wears light, so it's just airy. So it's like you're outside just enjoying that Atlantic Ocean breeze. Amazing fragrance. Maya and Jai has so many gems, and it doesn't get talked about enough. And she's just an amazing person as well. So
she has
really
gems.
enjoy that.
She has gems, you say? Hidden
Yes. Point
gems.
intended.
Hey, you know what? When I get off from here, I'm gonna go ahead and get a discovery set from her
Yeah.
because you are probably the fourth person that has talked about it, and I am feeling left out in
Yeah,
hearing about
she
this.
has some awesome fragrances. You ready for the last one?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Okay.
Lay it on us, man.
This last one is from the house of Ramon Monegal, and this is Lisla Blanca.
Yeah.
Now this right here is, man, just tropical done right. I mean, this is bright, smooth, creamy, just refined, and it takes me to nights in Barcelona. This is it just gives me the vibrance of the city. It's luxury resort, an escape. That's right here. That's correct. Rising to the top, Kenny Burke.
Rising
You're
to
right.
the top. Okay.
Yep.
There we go.
Yeah, but I mean, this fragrance is amazing. I don't know how many of you have got your nose on it, but this is an awesome fragrance. And the song that I chose to go with this and my trip to Barcelona is by Madonna, and it's called La Isla Bonita. Some of you may know that song, so check it out.
I'm sure I heard it back in the day, but I tell you what, let's get it. But that Ramon Monegal, I got it in my collection. Is that the recent release, or is that the one from, I think, 2019, 2020?
Yeah, that's the 2019 joint. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you got a beauty on your hands.
Yeah.
I got the more recent one. So okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to it, y'all.
¿Cómo fue que se levantaba? Last night I dreamt of San Pedro, just like I'd never gone. I knew the song, young girl with eyes like the desert. It all seems like yesterday, not far away. Tropical, the island breeze, all the nature wild and free. This is where I long to be, La Isla Bonita. And when the summer rain, the sun would set so high, ring through my ears and sting my eyes, your Spanish lullaby. I fell in love with San Pedro. Warm wind carried on the sea. He called to me. Te dijo te amo. I prayed that the days would last. They went so fast. Tropical, the island breeze, all of nature wild and free. This is where I long to be, La Isla Bonita.
Yeah, man, I can't have too many choruses in there. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
Sure, you know what I mean? Hey, but Donna, man, that is his. Oh my gosh. You know, when I was listening to Madonna, I was still in daycare. I I was still in the 3rd or 4th grade when she was popping, man. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Look,
man.
my guy Marion said, man, that took me back to 1998 for some reason. Hey, it took me back to years before that because 98, I was in high school. I was not jamming Madonna, but I tell you what.
Yeah, that was that's one of those songs that come up and just puts you into that, you know, that joyous and childhood memory type space. So I appreciate that.
All right, that's a bet, man. No, that you say you appreciate. I appreciate that, man. Look, this is traveling season. You know what I'm saying? And this is why it was no better time than now to have FragSportRav on the show to give out some recommendations, man, and some houses which you gave out as well, man. Some houses to look into with great tropical or great feel good fragrances. You know, so man, no, I appreciate you, brother. But when is Scentz again? I always forget, but I had it written down. Yeah, I had to get rid of it.
So typically it's in February, but this year it was moved to June because Milan was hosting the Olympics, the Winter Olympics. So it's from the 3rd to the 6th of June. Yeah. So I think next year they'll move it back.
Okay. Well, I hope not, because I heard this year was going to be the first year that you didn't get frostbite or freezer burn from being outside. Man.
You know what? It wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. I mean, trust me, I don't know. A summer in Europe is not the best situation either. It gets really hot, so we'll see how and then they don't have like ACs all over the place like we do here. So that's another challenge there, but we'll see how it goes. I'd rather be cold than hot any day.
Actually, yeah, you got a point there.
Ralph
you got a
said
really
February
good point.
was cold last year. Ralph, you live in Miami, man. Everything cold to you.
Yeah. But hey, with all due respect, even on average Joe was like, yeah, Jims, bring yourself a coat. You know how Joe be sounding. Yeah, Jims, you need to make sure you bring yourself a coat if you come out here. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ.
It was okay. I've seen colder. It was cold, but you know, nothing that you couldn't deal with.
Okay. All right. Well, nonetheless, I have a sure shot plan on being out there next year. So
it's definitely worth experiencing for sure. It's totally different vibe from Scent Explorer. If you want to get deeper into the brands and what they got going on, that's definitely the one you want to go to.
Yeah, that's one of the ones. Yeah,
so you can't handle the cold.
Yeah, you're right. You've been at the equator too long, Raph. You know what I'm saying? But no, definitely plan on going there. But man, hey, look, Charles, I appreciate your time. Look, you got me over here slumped because I was enjoying the music, I was enjoying the vibe and everything. You know what I'm saying? Always.
I'm glad we got to do this, man. It's been a long time coming. So glad we got the chance to do this.
Definitely. But you know, as I talked to you before, man, I plan on getting you just having some regular conversations when you got
for
time.
Sure. Anytime.
About some stuff because you know it's due, man. This was really great, man. Getting your thoughts on things, how you see things, how you hear things as well. You know.
Yeah. And hey, if you're out this way, definitely feel free to hit me up. I think I'll be in Dallas in a couple of months for a work conference, so I'll definitely hit you up. Yes, Scent Fest is looking amazing. I'll be there as well.
All right.
Yeah, that one in San Francisco is looking amazing.
I think I might go ahead and squeeze my way out there. But let me since you offered and whatnot, just to let you know, all right. This past weekend, we had our first fragrance family reunion.
Mm-hmm.
We had a few people that came down to Dallas to spend the weekend with your boy. We got a chance to go different places, smell different fragrances. The only place that we didn't go that I kind of have regrets is the scent room. But we got to go to what was it? Scentz Eternal. We got a chance to go to Neiman's and whatnot. Hey, we even made it down to Parfums du Ciel, which I want to do.
I need to get my nose on stuff from her. I keep seeing it around, and they have interesting names.
I got
need
you.
to check her out.
I got to go see her tomorrow, so I'll definitely talk to her and whatnot.
Okay.
And, yeah. But we decided as a group that next year, the Fragrance Family Reunion is going to be out there in Atlanta.
You're more than welcome. We got quite a bit going on out here, man. Yeah, that would be great.
Well, we're going to be out there for the full weekend. Right now, me and a couple of others are planning to get out. Trying to get some things done. I've heard that y'all got a lot of places to go smell.
We do for sure. Yes.
And we're gonna make a whole trip out of it. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have our things to do during the day and our things to do at night, right?
Hey, yes, sir. And let me know. Hey, I'll talk to a couple of owners, and we'll have some particular things planned. So yeah, just let me know when, and we'll fix something up.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna start getting some information out to people because I'd like for it to be a bigger thing. You know what I'm saying? And we're not trying to replace and explore or nothing like that. This is just a time for us to meet up in one city, go out and just hang out. You know what I'm saying? You choose what you want to spend and whatnot. You don't have to do the activities, but you can. It'd be great, to kind of just experience the city and all fragrance related things that it has to offer at one time together.
Yep. A lot more. And I think that's one of the things that I actually enjoy about the community is just, meeting people and, and hanging out with people that you have a similar passion. That's one of the things that I actually enjoy. I've had the opportunity through this community to meet some really good people. Forget what it is that you hear. There's some really good people in this space, and that's the side I choose to stick to. So,
no, for sure. I mean, the funny thing is that I tell people this all the time, right? That your relationship is not dependent upon someone else's relationship. There are naturally people that just do not get along with others. All right, and there's nothing wrong with that. Counted for what it is, but that doesn't necessarily mean that their dynamic didn't work, but yours won't either.
Yep.
You've got to. I hate to say it like this because it could go wrong so many ways. Me saying this, but you got to experience people for yourselves. You know what I'm saying?
That's facts. I believe that. I don't take over. I don't take over people's. I don't even know what to call it. I don't know. Beef is not the right word, but I don't take over people's problems. It's
right.
You have your reasons, and that ain't got nothing to do with me. So
exactly, man. But like I said, man, it's been great getting to know y'all even better. Carrie, seeing Carrie, Marcy. I'm telling you, the feeling of elation and I mean, just such a wonderful excitement to see y'all face to face and actually give y'all a hug and whatnot, and for it to be more than just this right here. Talking
it's different,
which is still great.
It's different. You were saying it earlier. It's a different vibe. It's a different feeling when you actually meet people face to face and you're able to put a name with the face and whatnot. So every chance I actually get to do that, I do just that. So it don't mean I'm gonna talk to you the next time, but at least the first time we're gonna make it happen.
Yeah. Basically, I get it. Yeah. You gotta earn that second conversation. No, for sure, man. But, hey, I appreciate you setting aside time
here,
on your. I know you're a busy man and whatnot,
sure.
and I know Fridays are definitely they're cherished amongst us, especially the evening. So I'm not going to hold you any longer, brother. I will hit you up. I don't need you to stand back. I'll call you or text you.
Awesome.
If I need anything.
Sounds good, man. Thanks to everybody that checked in and hung out with us this evening. Really appreciate you guys. Appreciate you, James, for sure.
For sure. Y'all go check them out on IG. Again, the tag is at FragSportRav. All right, all together. FragSportRav.
For sure. For sure. And James, I think I told you earlier, I actually have something that is coming really soon.
Oh yeah.
If you can do me a favor and go and follow Covine Parfums, Covine Parfums, COVENE Parfums on Instagram, and just lock in with me. I have something coming out here in a couple of months, so follow the IG page and know everything about a little bit about my brand that is actually going to be coming out, Covine Parfums. It's focused on fragrances for professional settings. We always hear people talk about date night and vacations and all of that stuff. Like we just did vacations not too long ago, but this is focused around fragrances for a professional setting. Now, the professional setting, you do have your office environment, but there are other professions as well. So as we go through, that's what we'll be focused on. So looking to have that out in a couple of months here. So Covine Parfums, just follow that page and stay locked in. Yeah.
Holler at me, because hey, I love to get a discovery set or whatever and talk to you. And I need an interview. I always interview these CEOs. You know what I'm saying? I get a chance to interview CEO Sport Trap. You know what I'm saying?
I like that. It has a nice ring to it.
Yes, sir. But no. Hey, that is a bet. I just followed you, and I will be trying to get that out to the rest of the community so that they might do the same. Because great content on both channels. I'm sure it's great content to come on Covine and going from there.
Thank you, sir.
No, thank you.
Have a blessed evening. Appreciate
you as well. Talk to you later.
Man.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
For sure. All right.
All right, y'all. That'll do it, man. Appreciate y'all for coming out. Just showing some love to me, my guy Charles. All right. Getting a chance to learn more about him and all that he's gone through on his scent journey. And honestly, I hope y'all enjoyed the relation between fragrances and music on his end, because hey, you're not gonna get that too many times. And I love it, boy. You threw in a little trap music in there, you know what I'm saying? Who else has put Rick Ross on the playlist? You know what I'm saying? Who else? I don't know anybody else this far, but you know what? I appreciate it. It does tell me a couple of things. I will need to check up on this man on the weekends, make sure he's not out of there. All right. But shout out to him. Shout out to everybody who showed up, and appreciate y'all, man. Again, I'll be going live again tomorrow night sometime. I will be doing a discovery set discussion. And we're gonna make it happen. I know it's been a while. I was gone for a couple of weeks almost. And I know one of the weeks I just had bad allergies. Eyes were swollen, still a little swollen, but they're definitely better now. And just going through some things, but didn't want to get on camera, was looking a hot mess, but we're good now. We back and we gonna do some things, man. But appreciate y'all for coming out. No, y'all could have been anywhere but here, but you chose to come in and be a part of this show, this community, this fragrance family tonight. And for that, I truly appreciate it. All right. Like I said, tune in tomorrow where we're going to discuss the House of Oman Luxury. All right. I know some of y'all have heard of them, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you what I get, what my take on them, and go from there. And we're going to have a good time. We even going to bring back the old school decants. All right. Back when we used to sniff decants and sip decants. So y'all stay tuned, because it's going to be live and it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. All right. But anyways, hey, let every sip be a sip of inspiration, and let every sniff lead to a new discovery. Y'all have a blessed evening. I will check y'all out tomorrow. That's right, Rock Boy. Peace, love, and man, ain't no Ice Man coming, boy. I don't even know what that is, but yeah, shout out to Drake, who released 3 albums and everything. But y'all leave in the chat what you think of it. You know what I'm saying? Scent Father doesn't want to talk about it anymore, but Hey, go ahead and leave in the chat what you thought of all 3 albums: The Maid of Honor, Habiti, and of course Iceman. But other than that, y'all have a blessed evening. I'll see y'all tomorrow, inshallah. Oh yeah, for those who don't know, that's God willing. But anyway.